Am I live? There we go. Okay. All right. Hey, welcome in. It is another Sunday night live. And tonight we are talking detox and healthy detoxes. So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to come on in. This is the time of year when everybody's talking about getting on your New Year's resolutions. I hope you all had a wonderful New Year, a wonderful holiday, a Merry Christmas. We didn't do actually, no, we did do a show last week, but we didn't do, what didn't we do? We didn't do chiropractic and sexy. We were not here for that, but this is the time. We've gone through the holidays. We have eaten and drank our way through the last several weeks, and everyone wants to throw their New Year's resolutions on the table and get started. And you come on in with a whole bunch of vigor. You're ready to get rocking and rolling and change your health. Here's the problem with that is the average, and I made an error on this time. So the average person fails on their New Year's resolutions within 2 weeks. So in my head, I had January 14th. But the problem with that is it's actually the second Friday of January that everybody fails. So this coming Friday, the 9th, January 9th, is actually called Quitter's Day because it's when about 90% of people give up on their New Year's resolutions, give up on themselves. You established these goals. You really want something better for yourself. And you only gave yourself a week and a half into the new year before you just tossed it to the side. And we're going to talk about why that happens. Mad Dog, great to see you. Thanks for popping in here. Hope you had a wonderful new year. I'm on a new computer. That was a present to myself. I've been limping through with my computers for about the past year and a half. So I was like, it's time. So I feel like I look a little green. I don't know. I have a couple lights coming into my eyes. So I feel fine. I'm super healthy. But if I look green, I don't know. I'll maybe click my light around a little bit here. See if we can, maybe that's a little better. Okay. I feel like that might be a little bit better there. Okay. So this is the time you're starting to think about a detox. You're hearing about detoxes and you're probably thinking, that sounds great. I want a detox, but most people don't really know what a healthy detox is. Now, on last Sunday Night Live, we talked about that. We talked about where all this comes from. And I'm going to get into a little bit today. I'm going to summarize a bit what we talked about last week and where we get this toxic load from. What does it mean to be toxic? And trying to get my camera. There we go. What does it mean to be toxic? How do we clear it safely and successfully? And what's a healthy detox and what's an unhealthy detox? Because we talked about last week that you can actually do a detox. I'm air quoting that, and it can be not good for you. There's a lot of unsafe detoxes out there. So, excuse me. Hey, Chadwick Bradbury, thanks for being here. I drink too much coffee. I know, me too. And I talk about coffee. I have a caveat for coffee on the detox, but I do like to give up coffee for that 10 days. And my reasoning for that is I don't always drink. Some days I drink more coffee than I should. Other days I don't at all. Ken Marth, nice to see you. Ken, you need to be jumping on. I think you were on Detox with the Doc last year, so we got to get you on board, buddy. And before I get into the coffee segment, there is a link below. So if anywhere during this conversation you decide you want to jump on board with Detox with the Doc with me, I'm going to explain the whole program to you. There's a sign up in the show notes. So go ahead. That'll get you on my list and I'll send you the information. So, hi, Mary Lou. Thanks for being here. Always great to see you. And, yes, Ken, yes, you definitely do. Tio Mimo says, should we do coffee enemas? So, coffee enemas are, they're okay to do. However, there's some caveats with that too. And I'm not really going to address a coffee enema today. I'm going to address something a little bit more broad in the body. Coffee enemas can be a good adjunct to your health. It can be something that you can do to cleanse out frequently, get up into the liver and into the portal vein. But we're going to do something a little bit different and unique. So coffee enema is not bad, but not the topic of conversation for us today. Let's see. Okay. So Ken, watch your email. Mary Lou, watch your email. You should be getting emails from me with regards to Detox with the Doc. And again, if anybody else wants to jump on board, the sign up is in the show notes. So going back to the coffee, coffee tends to be very moldy. When they roast the beans, the beans get moist, wet, and then they roast the beans. And in that process, they start to develop mold. And then the roasting process bakes the mold onto the beans. So you have to be really mindful. If you want to have coffee on this particular program, on the Detox with the Doc program, you can. You can have 1 cup. It has to be mold-free, low-acid, shade-grown organic coffee beans, which you can find them mostly online. You're not going to walk into Kroger and find that. But you're going to have to order it online. And so, yes, you can have coffee, but that's the caveat. And if you can't find that, or if you're just like me, like I have that coffee here, but I'm like, my whole thought process is I don't want anything to have more power over me than I have over myself. And so, I just won't drink coffee for 10 days and it's not a big deal. No alcohol, like it's okay, you guys. We need to have healthy relationships around food, around alcohol, around our coffee, whatever you think your air quote vice might be. And of course, with January, everybody's talking about dry January and, give up alcohol for a whole month. And that's great. I mean, it's really, truly a healthy thing to do. But it's also one of those things where people are like, I'm going to drink myself into oblivion during the holidays. Then I'm going to give up alcohol for a whole month in January. Well, why don't you just have a healthy relationship around that? And then if you're like, I don't think I need this for 30 days. That's the healthier way to do it. These extremes of overindulgence, whether it's coffee, whether it's food, whether it's maybe you're overindulgent in exercise. Maybe it's I don't know. A lot of people they give up one addiction for another. So name any of the addictions, and of course, alcohol is one of them as well. Alcohol, drugs, smoking, those are all addictions. So what is it that has a grip on you? And ask yourself, can I have more power over myself than this thing has over me? And that's really, truly the test. So sure, I can have organic, shade-grown, low-acid, mold-free coffee during the detox. But the whole point is I have more power over coffee than coffee has over me. And so coffee doesn't get to be a part of me for 10 days. And that's okay. And I'm okay with that. And some people go kind of white knuckling into that. And we'll talk about that too. I'm going to go through the program so you can see what it is. So you can see what actually a healthy detox is. So let me just say, welcome in whichever channel you are coming in from. We're streaming on Facebook. We're streaming on YouTube from It's All About the Biology, Dr. Paula Ruffin, DC, and then Paula Ruffin, New Hudson Chiropractic, and Dr. Paula Ruffin over on Facebook. So wherever you're coming in from, make sure you give a thumbs up and please share this. This is really good information because I know you have a friend, a spouse, a loved one, a coworker, or somebody who is ready to do the whole shake their life upside down and do all the extreme things because they did not have a healthy enough relationship for themselves around whatever the thing was leading up to this. And then they're 90% likely to give up on those goals by Friday. So this program is designed to help you not give up. It's designed to keep you lifted. It's designed to help give you not just motivation, but understand that there's discipline behind that. That motivation's fleeting. How many times do I not feel like going to the gym, but I go anyway because it's my discipline. It's a non-negotiable for me. Exercising is not it's non-negotiable. It's part of my life. And the beauty of it is that I don't have to put that on my New Year's resolution because it's already part of my lifestyle. So that's what you have to start thinking about as we move forward is what can you start to implement? What habits can you start creating? What disciplines, what consistencies can you start to build around things that are going to be healthy for you so that come next year, they don't go on the resolution list because they're part of your lifestyle. And again, that is where having healthy relationships about anything we talk about is key for you. Lily says, I've been experiencing sinus issues, phlegm buildup. Do you think it might be the coffee? I've never had sinus issues before drinking coffee. That's a great question. It's also a bit of a big question, but if you're drinking moldy coffee, mold can create histamine responses, which can cause sinus issues. Also, gut issues create sinus issues. It can create excess phlegm buildup. So can dairy. So without knowing the full history, it's hard to say, but it could be. You could also just try eliminating it again. You could do the 10-day and then eliminate it and see how you do from there. Chadwick says, yes, that's me. Yes. So you're the lofty one, right? Trying to do all the big things. Lily says, I'm trying to figure it out. Is it the coffee? Is it the dairy? I put in it. Yeah. So I just mentioned the dairy. Got to go through the elimination process to narrow it down. Yes. So, I got to hold my lip. Okay. Yes. So this is actually an elimination diet that we're going to do. And I hate the word diet, but it's an elimination program. So let me just go to my notes and I'm going to click off of here. So I won't see your comments here for a minute, but I just want to go ahead and give us the intro. So if you've been dealing with headaches, neck and shoulder tension, poor sleep, brain fog, fatigue, or constant stress, this is not random. And so tonight's show, as we said, this is about toxic load, what it is, where it comes from, and why so many people struggle to stick to their healthy habits this time of year. So this is really about understanding what is your body dealing with? What are the limits that your body has gotten to that it can no longer give you the level of health that you desire or that you require? So what is toxic load? Toxic load is the total burden your body's trying to process every day. And it's not just chemicals. So we think about our food and water exposures, our air quality, our mold, pesticides, plastics, fragrances, cleaners, detergents. And I'll say it again. I'll say it every time. Laundry detergent is the number one. Get rid of it. Get rid of laundry detergent and get rid of dryer sheets. Laundry detergent follows you around all freaking day. So you wash your clothes in it. You wear your clothes all day. You wash your sheets in it. You sleep in your bed. You get out of the shower. You dry yourself off with towels that have had your laundry detergent and your dryer sheets. These are the most toxic things. They have the most toxic ingredients. The scents in them are super toxic to the brain. They cause inflammation. They can cause the digestive upset, which can create the histamine responses and the sinus issues. We also have stress, poor sleep, inflammation. So the body's it's constantly detoxing until it becomes overwhelmed. And again, just as a reminder, if you're new to this talk, detoxing is about phase 1 and phase 2 and phase 3 of what the body goes through. So phase 1 and 2 happen in the liver. Phase 1 breaks down the toxin that comes in, and it's a very fast process. Phase 2 has to put a water droplet around it. And I'm simplifying this for you guys. So just get this visual here. So we've got phase 1, fast. Phase 2 has to put water on it in order to safely get it out. Phase 3, which is the kidneys, because that water keeps the kidneys safe. The problem is phase 2 is slow and it cannot keep up with the burden that's coming into the body. And so phase 1 is super fast, breaks it down, shuttles it into phase 2. Phase 2 is like, man, I can take this one and I got to put these over here in long-term storage. And long-term storage is fat tissue. and it's brain. And so this is often when people say, I can't lose weight. I don't know why I have this, puffiness around my belly. You start hearing that people are just having these challenges with getting rid of this weight or having weight gain. And it's because the body needs a safe place to store toxins. And if you haven't given the body a safe way to get those toxins out, it's going to stay stored. So, and this becomes a big issue with GLP-1s, the weight loss drugs, is that people are losing weight swiftly. They're losing a lot of muscle mass. They're losing a lot of fat mass, but they're not doing anything to support the liver in the process. And so because they're liberating all these toxins, and they're just getting stored in whatever tissue they can. They're getting stored in the brain. They're getting stored in the breast tissue. They're getting stored in the organs. So you have to recognize that just losing weight that's not an answer for anyone. And, I get that some people are in crisis. These drugs can be helpful if they're just like, I can't do this, but we got to detox in the process. So just keep that in mind. If you know someone who's been on the weight loss drugs, this would be a great program for them. And let me go here. So yes, Lily, the program is 10 days. And then we'll get into what it is in a second. So let me go back to my notes. So toxic load will typically show up from recurring headaches, migraine headaches, neck and shoulder tension, poor sleep, or my favorite, wired but tired. You ever get that? You're wired, you're exhausted, you lay down, your brain can't shut off. So a lot of brain chatter. This is a sign of toxic load. It's a sign of stress. Your body's dysregulated. Your nervous system can't heal. It's having a really hard time. So you get this brain fog. You're not motivated. Your energy goes down. We have chronic stress and inflammation in the face of all that. And you're asking yourself, you're saying to yourself, gosh, nothing seems to work anymore. Or my body's broken. I hear that a lot too. Well, your body's not broken. These are physiologic symptoms or signals that your body is struggling and it needs help. And this is how we help it. So motivation and willpower will typically fail when you're too toxic. And the reason is we can't out-discipline an overwhelmed nervous system. We have to get the nervous system regulated. So when our detox pathways and our stress response systems are overloaded, the energy goes down, our inflammation goes up, and decision fatigue increases. So that's that brain fog. So the more inflammation you have, the more achy you're going to feel in your joints, the more the inflammation and those toxins are going to get up into the brain and cause inflammatory brain, or as I call it, brain on fire. And that affects everything in your life. It affects how you relate to yourself. It affects how you relate to your spouse, to your children, to your coworkers. Maybe you're somebody who has a short fuse. If you've ever heard that before, where you're just kind of snippy, that can be toxic load in the brain. You have an inability to regulate the proper brain signals because you have so much toxins up there. Your brain is inflamed and it's having trouble regulating. And so this is why, when we do this, we end up, if you go on an unhealthy detox, you feel great for a week and then you crash. This is really common when we go into these unhealthy detoxes. So unhealthy detoxes are going to be juice cleanses, starvation, and just not extremes. Now, there are people who do water fasts, and they'll do a 3-7. I know a guy from the gym. He does like 3-week water fasts every month, and I'm like, that's just crazy. I don't even know. And there's actually quite a lot of data around fasting. But personally, it's not sustainable. You go on a 7-day water fast and people are like, oh my God, I felt amazing. Well, then you got to eat again. You need food. So let's figure out how to get you healthy and have a healthy relationship around food and the choices you make so that you don't have to just go 7 days without food and just drink water. So those are my thoughts on that. If you want to do a 3-day, 7-day fast, that's fine. But why does it get to that extreme level? That's always what I've thought when I hear these gurus and these influencers talking about detox. My daughter has a thought on that.
I've heard that water fasts kill cancer cells.
So she's saying water fasts kill cancer cells. There is a lot of data that water fasting is excellent if you have something super toxic like cancer. Cancer it's the number one thing for toxic overload. So if you have ever had cancer or you know somebody who's had cancer, they need to do this detox 100%. Because they're still toxic, especially if they went through chemo, radiation, surgery, or all of that. Also, when you go through that, if you didn't do what you needed to do to remove the toxins that caused the cancer to begin with, then who knows? Is it going to come back? Is it going to recur? So yes, my daughter is correct. So there are studies that show that it can help with cancer. But this is also, let's do this before we get to cancer. That's always what, let's not wait for a crisis. I don't like when people come in with a crisis. I mean, I love taking care of them. I really do. But it's hard and they have to commit to themselves and a different way of thinking. So, okay. So, detox pathways and stress response systems get overloaded. Our energy goes down, inflammation goes up, decision fatigue. Oh, I already read that. Sorry. Okay. All right. We're down here at juice cleanses. So juice cleanses, I don't typically recommend juice cleanses. It's a couple of reasons. So if you're doing just regular juices, if you're doing anything with fruit, it can be too high in sugars for you, even if you're doing low sugar fruits, if that's all you're drinking all day. But then the green juices, those can drive oxalates. And I've done shows on oxalates. Those are the little crystals. They crystallize out. We're supposed to be able to poop them out. And what happens is most people are deficient in the nutrients that are required to bind oxalates in the colon. So we poop them out. And so because we lack these binding nutrients, then the oxalates get reabsorbed. And so I do a lot of testing for oxalates, and I would say probably 80% of the time it comes back positive for oxalate overload. And so if you want to drink a green juice once in a while, I'm not opposed to that, but I would not recommend a 7-day green juice fast because I've had patients do this and then they call me and they're like, well, I did this juice fast and I've never felt worse. My joints were achy. I felt like I was arthritic. I felt like I was 90 years old. And it's because you've released these oxalates, which are like little crystals. Or like, think of them like little shards of glass getting liberated into your body, and then they settle into the joints and into your brain. Yeah, that is going to feel pretty bad. So I don't recommend juice fasts at all. I really think we need a well-rounded program, like I'm going to show you, that helps support nutritional deficiencies, helps fill the tank of what you need. So getting you from nutritionally deficient to nutritionally sufficient. And then helping you understand food choices that are going to be beneficial for you. So it's really about bringing you to a real world scenario of what does a healthy lifestyle look like? What does a super clean lifestyle look like? And if you can do this, 80% of the time, and then you go to an indulgent party, talk about that all the time, is that, I feel like I'm constantly in some level of detox. And then that way, if I go to an indulgent dinner, it's not I'm like, yeah, it's fine. And I'm going to enjoy every bit of it. I'm not going to feel guilt. I'm not going to beat myself up. And I'm going to get back on track the next day. So remember, preset and reset. We talk about that. So a real detox is going to support our liver detox pathways. It's going to support your gut, support your nervous system. It provides structure and guidance. So that's where I come in. And it reduces your toxic exposure while improving the body's ability to eliminate. So I created this program because I wanted a reset that people could actually complete. I wanted something that felt good. I wanted them to feel successful at the end of 10 days. And 10 days is long enough to lower toxic load temporarily, of course, because you're going to be exposing yourself back to the real world, reduce inflammation, calm the nervous system, and feel a noticeable shift. It's short enough to stay realistic and doable. I have a 28-day program. I've had some people say, I want to do the 10-day detox with the doc. So they want to be with me for the 10 days in our private community. But then they're like, but I want the 28-day kit because I want to do this thing for 28 days. So if that's you, more power to you. That's awesome. So the 28-day is also available. So let me get back to some questions, and then I'm going to show you some handouts here. Let's see. Dirt Right. Thanks for being here. That's a new name, so I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Make sure you hitting that subscribe button on the way in and out. Coffee too much fasting is great, though sometimes get them stem cells cranking after 72 hours. So I've heard. Yeah, it doesn't take long. I do fast, so I don't mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that fasting's bad. That's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, and I don't know, like, to me, to do even a 3-day water fast, it's like, it's just not what I want to do. It's kind of like cold plunging. Like, I just have no desire for that. So I'm like, what's something else I can do? And also, like, hear me on this. When I say this, is that there is no one way to do anything. So when you're hearing all of these different things, it's like, it's not that fasting's bad. It's just that, I don't know, I just have a different lens for it. I just really feel like I want you guys to learn. I want you guys to learn how to implement healthier food choices. I want you to understand the nutritional impact of what we're doing. I prefer, because a 3-day, 7-day water fast, you don't learn anything. What are you learning? And then when you come out of it, like, you have to know what you're doing if you're going to do that, because you can make yourself sick. And so people who do these longer fasts regularly, they're not like, they know what they're doing. So don't just think I'm going to stop eating for 3 days. There's definitely things you need to be doing to make sure you're protecting your health in the process. And I just find this a great way to detoxify. It's a little easier. A lot of people are, they just want food. They just want food. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Who else jumped in here? Grumpy Date M, D8M. Thank you so much. Nice, love watching her. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here. Say hello to everybody. And let's see, how about them Fulvix and Humix along with chelated soluble minerals that helps detox? Yes. So yes, a source of anything is also important. So these are chelators. Now, just to answer your question real quickly, when we are using chelation, so chelation is a binder. And so when you're doing that, you're binding things that you don't want, but it's also taking the good things in there. So again, chelation is another key thing. It's like, well, do you know how to do that properly? Do you know how to take your chelators so that it's not depleting you of all of the minerals that you actually do want? So again, not bad, but I'm going to make it even easier. because a lot of people don't even know about the fulvics and the humics and any of the other chelated, even bentonite clay, diatomaceous earth. Like there's so many different chelators out there. So we do want to be really mindful of that. And so yes, but you're right. They're great, but not long-term. And I did not get my hair done. I will be getting it done in about a week and a half. I'm way overdue. Okay, now I'm going to call myself out here because we're talking about toxicity. I do dye my hair. Okay, so it's like I get it. I know I shouldn't do that. I should just go all gray, and I should just be like, thoroughly au natural. But nope. Not willing to do that either. So that's another reason that I'm constantly detoxing, because I want to have my purple hair and I want to cover up my gray. So before anybody out there criticizes my purple hair, let me give that disclaimer. So thank you for noticing, Grumpy. And there's Shawnee. So great to see you. It's been so great to see you these last few weeks. Thanks for jumping in. Lily says, I just watched a video on adrenaline junkies. They're a whole lot crazy. The dangerous positions they put themselves in for a thrill, all the power to them, living on the edge. And so that's interesting. So that's brain, that's dopamine. These people don't, I'm going to answer that real quick. And then I'm going to go to my handouts. But when people have to do that, they don't have enough receptors, dopamine receptors in the brain. And so what happens is they jump out of a plane. And when they do that, that then forces, let's just say dopamine. And when the brain floods with dopamine, then suddenly the brain has to develop all these receptors to take up the dopamine. And so that's how they fuel their brains. Like, it's really fascinating when you think of adrenaline junkies and what happens like neurologically for them. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Pretty sure I'm an adrenaline junkie still. Okay, so let me I'm going to bring this one up. And I was telling Ken, I'm like, okay, let's just see here, because this is a new computer. Here we go. Okay. I'm just trying to find all my little buttons. All right. So this is the program we're talking about, this Reset and Renew. It's the Clear Change program by Metagenics. So there are 212 chemicals in the blood of most Americans. And this was a study that was done just a few years back that actually talked about toxic load. And they found all these chemicals in the cord blood of nursing moms. So it's critical that we detox. And hold on one second, because I'm sorry, you guys. Those are, I can't even read them when I make them bigger. So I'm going to make them bigger. I'm going to leave them up on the screen for you. And then I'm going to pull it up on a different screen so I can actually read it, because it's also kind of blurry too. So forgive me here. Okay, here we go. Okay. And so you can see there that each year more than 4 billion pounds of chemical compounds and pollutants are released into the environment, and approximately 700 new chemicals are introduced into the marketplace each year without adequate testing. Now that should scare the shit out of you. Okay. And I am never a fear monger person, but I'm like, holy shit, what they're allowed to do with our air is actually, it's criminal to me. So when we're looking at choosing the right detox program, we want to, hold on one second here. Where's there we go. Okay. This particular program, it's based on research protocols. It supports all 3 phases of detox. So most programs out there aren't doing that. It comes from a trusted healthcare manufacturer. All the ingredients are third-party tested for toxicity. Also, it goes through clinical trials. So these are time-tested products. and it's practitioner supervised. So you get me along hand in hand with you. It's always tested for safety and efficacy, and it ensures that you're getting that proper nutrient intake. So that's what I was saying is it's like, okay, when you do a juice or water fast, there are a lot of things like your body will turn over like that. It'll kill off cells. It'll start replacing dead cells and start going and attacking things. That's why it's helpful with cancer. But then this is also going to give you nutrients that you need for the tank that's empty. And then, of course, you're going to get comprehensive tools and support. So signs that you may need a detox. If you have difficulty concentrating, mood swings, irritability, trouble sleeping, waking up feeling unrefreshed, thinking you slept, and then you're like, oh my God, why am I exhausted? If you live or work around environmental pollutants, you have a lack of energy, you have chemical sensitivities. If you get, a rash and you're like, I don't know why I get rashes or hives, or if you have sinus congestion, if you're feeling bloated, you have digestive discomfort, if you're constipated, these are all signs that you are definitely toxic. So we did talk about phase 1, 2, and 3, and that not all detox programs are safe because there's fad diets, juice fasts, and laxative. People also often use laxatives, and those can actually lead to loss of muscle, slowing the metabolism. So again, if you go on to one of the weight loss injections, you're going to lose a ton of muscle mass. It's like up to 40 to 50% of your muscle mass, which it drives your metabolism. You need muscle mass for your immune system, and we cannot afford to lose our muscle mass. So you don't want to slow your metabolism by losing muscle mass. It can cause blood sugar imbalances, upset stomach, and of course, additional fatigue, which, we're trying to get our energy back. So let me bring this guy up. And let me get back over here. Okay, so I'm going to bring this off the stage here. And then this is another thing that we'll do is I have you take this metabolic detoxification questionnaire. And this is great. I'd be happy to send this to anybody if they would like it. Just drop me an email and in the subject line, put detox questionnaire. And you can go ahead and take this. And this evaluates your body by organ system. So you can see digestion, joints, emotional, weight, energy. Sorry, it's blurry. It doesn't want to upload very well. So anyway, skin, and you get the idea. And then you take it and then you rate it and you give it a grand total. And then on page 2, this is just other questions of, they call it xenotoxicity, which is environmental toxins as well. And so then you would just rate it back here, and you can see that now on the front it says low would be 14. So if you're over 15, we want to start thinking about this. So even if you're under 14, and what I find is that no offense, don't take offense when I say this, but a lot of people lie. And you're not doing it on purpose. But we tend to really minimize our symptoms because we have learned to live with them. We have learned to compartmentalize our ailments. And so sometimes people will take that quiz, and then I'll add it up and it'll be like 10. And I'm like, and then I start questioning them. They're like, oh yeah, well, and then we end up getting over 30. Right. So yes, so you're not lying on purpose, but start to think about that. Like if you find that you're like, oh, it's just a little bit of back pain, or I only get a headache once a week, it's fine. Like that is minimizing symptoms, and it's not okay. So you deserve better than that. Let's get back to some. Okay. Squishy Mirror. Hey, Squishy Mirror. Nice to see you here. Thanks for being here. Dirt, right? Just Googled it. Sativa stimulates dopamine, feed the adrenaline. Good job. Let's see. Squishy Mirror, welcome in. send it. Okay, Ken, I will send that to you. I'm going to send that in another email. So make sure you're getting my emails. And yes, and Lily, please email me. I won't remember everybody in the comments. I know Ken's been in the program, so I will remember him. And Lily, I'll probably remember you, but everybody else, please drop them in the comments. Squishy Mirror says, what's my thoughts on parasites? This will help with parasites. Yeah. Parasites are, parasites, I think everybody has them in some capacity. And again, it's like, you got to get rid of those buggers because, man, they send toxic signals to the brain and they can keep you in toxic overload. So, all right. So, there's one, hold on. I want to pull up another handout here. Cause this is kind of cool. Cause this is where you're like, where am I at? Sorry, you guys. Okay, let's pull this up. Actually, I think it's in the booklet, so I'll pull the booklet up for you. Okay, here we go. All right. Yes, dirt right. That is for sure. Yes. And zeolite for sure. But again, zeolite is it's a chelator. So it's fine to take, but you got to make sure you're taking it away from your nutrients because you don't want it to rob your nutrients either. And diorite, you're so right. They literally can control your thoughts through the biology. They are bugs that will take over your brain. So yeah. So a lot of people who have anxiety, depression, any kind of mental health disorders, ADD, ADHD, that is brain. Think about brain, and if it's brain, it's gut. It's a gut problem until proven otherwise. So, all right. So we're gonna go. Let me go here. I have to do this kind of strategically here. Let me pull up my. Okay. All right. Do this and this. Okay. So here's our program, and there's this clearchangeprogram.com. You guys could go to this right now. And you could sign in here. It'll ask you what detox you're going to take, 10 or 28 day. And I always say, if you're going to go here and sign up for the 28 day, because it'll give you 28 days of recipes and emails and information. It's really, really some really good educational things there. So, all right. So this is what the kit looks like. So you get this kit. This is Ultra Clear Renew. Now, Ultra Clear Renew, the beauty of this is it has metallothioneine in it. What is that? So that actually helps your body's own heavy metal clearing pathways. So this is a heavy metal cleanse too. Nobody's asked about that. Yeah. So heavy metals get lodged in the brain. They get lodged in the tissues. They're very difficult to get out. And so what we want to do is be able to draw out the heavy metals in addition to all the other toxic ingredients. So this is where I say this, to me, this is the gold standard, because when you drink these shakes, the nutrients in it, it's a very specific nutrient profile, and it goes into the brain, it goes into the tissues, it pulls all those toxins out and it sends it into the liver. It increases phase 2 of liver detoxification. So phase 2 can keep up with it, pulling as well as all your daily stuff, and then get it out through phase 3 in the urine. And then of course pooping it out too. So you don't end up, this isn't like you're going to be shitting your brains out. So a lot of people are like, I'm going to go to the bathroom all the time. I'm like, that's not, you'll be peeing a lot because you're promoting phase 3. You'll probably have more bowel movements, but it's not, you don't get like crazy massive diarrhea or anything like that. It's you're like, oh, this is great. Like you feel like you're fully emptying, which most people are like, oh my God, I didn't know I could feel like that. And then we add the Advoclear. It's an additional detoxification and antioxidant support. And Advoclear is really amazing. Now you can also take a probiotic with this, and you can take your omega-3s. So if you're interested in that as well, we can definitely put that on deck. I'm not going to go through this because this is kind of, that's part of the program. These are the things that I'll talk about in the group, but I did want to just point this out for us. So this is why this is critical that we follow along a healthy doctor guided program, because these products are powerful. So I just said it's going to dislodge toxins from the brain, from the tissues, from the organs, from anywhere these toxins are lodged. And it's going to start to liberate them and put them back into the liver to get them out, detoxify, flush them out. If you're not doing this properly, then what happens is they get reabsorbed. And then you can end up getting headaches. You can end up getting joint pain. You might get extra bloated, which it can happen. You can get extra headaches. You can get more bloating. You can get extra joint aches and pains. You could break out in a rash. I tend to get more acne because the body is attempting to detoxify. So the reality is that sometimes you might have a side effect, but it's not horrible. But we want to minimize that. And this is why we do this in the beginning here. We do this ramping up. So on day 1, you only are going to eat your recommended foods. That's it. And I'm going to show you the categories here so you'll know, like, there's a lot of food on this. On day 2, you're going to do 1 scoop twice a day, and then 1 capsule of your Abdiclear twice a day. You're still eating from the recommended foods. You do that again on day 3, bump your capsule up 1, and then it's going to put you into specific food categories. And then on day 4, you're up to 2 scoops twice a day and 2 capsules twice a day. So you can see how this slow ramping up. So by day 4, you're at a full dose, and then you're eating from specific food categories. So that's a really important piece, so that you do feel good. So you do start feeling more energy. You will start feeling like you're getting better sleep. And then on days 5 through 7, we're doing 2 scoops 4 times a day. And then we come in here, and then on day 8, we start to reduce that down. By day 9, we're back at 2 scoops twice a day. So you can see it sort of ramps up. And then here on this day 5 through 7, what's happened in the beginning here is we've pulled all these toxins. And so days 5 through 7 is easing digestion as much as possible. We don't really want to have a whole lot of like red meat. People ask about, can they have venison, grass-fed beef? And that's fine. Like if you're like, I just hate fish, then that's fine. But try to stick with poultry or lighter, more easily digestible forms of protein. Because the longer your digestive tract takes to break down those foods, the more opportunity these toxins have to reabsorb into the system. So we're pulling them into the system, and then we want to get them out as quickly as possible by putting in foods that don't take a really long time to digest. So this is just, I'm not going to go through that. That's a little chewier there. So recommended foods. So you can see here. So this is not a calorically restrictive program. And this is what I love about it. You do a juice fast, you do a water cleanse, you're going to be starving. I know people who do water cleanses are like, I'm not hungry at all. I'm like, I don't know. I kind of call bullshit on that, but okay. It sounds like I'm really not in favor of a water fast. I'm not saying that at all. It's just not for me. Like a cold plunge, not for me. Anyway, so this is not calorically restrictive. This is categorically restrictive. And what that means is that it's no gluten, no dairy, and then we're taking coffee and alcohol and corn out of the mix. So there's a lot of grains. There's a lot of fruits and vegetables on here. There's legumes in here as well. You are not counting calories. I do not want you to do that. There's a ton of protein in here as well. Lots of fish. But again, a lot of people are like, I hate fish. And so we default back to, you can see like Cornish game hen, turkey, wild game, buffalo elk, venison, if you can't have the fish. So anyway, so you can see there, and there's a ton of food on here, and lots of fats are great because they keep you satiated. Have the avocado, eat the fats that are going to help you feel full. Have some nuts, eat some seeds, throw those on your salad. And then, of course, green tea. So I usually move to a green tea. I love a rooibos tea, mineral water, which is what I'm drinking here. Love my mineral water. Tons of herbs, playing with herbs. I'll talk about that inside of our private group, foods, recipes, things like that. So, okay. Squishy Mirror signed up. Yay. I'm so happy. Okay, great. I will send you the information. So let me disclose this. So the sign up that's down below, that's just so you can get on my list so that I can send you the information. So your kit is going to be, so I'm going to send you it'll be up to 30% off. Squishy, you'll get 30% off because you've never ordered off of my site before. If I have a current patient who has used the 30% off, the site won't allow them to use that, but you'll get 20% off. Ken, you've done this before, but you've never used my 30% off. So I'll be able to get you 30% off. So you'll order your kit. I'll send you the link for that. And then I think it's $149 if you sign up before Thursday this week, and it's $199 if you sign up after Thursday, and that's for the 10 days of coaching plus the private group. So yes, it is just a little bit of additional for my time and expertise to lead you through that program, and then to have access to the community. So you'll get all those details in there. And so welcome in. Okay, let's answer some questions here. I got to quit letting them draw me to the sugar. So the other thing too, Dirt Right, is Candida yeast. They love sugar. And if you have yeast in your gut, if you have an overgrowth of Candida, they love sugar. And so sugar cravings are a very common sign that you have Candida overgrowth, because they tell your brain to go eat sugar. They're saying, feed me, Seymour. Who knows what movie that's from? Come on, you guys, don't disappoint me. Sugar is more addictive in some ways than heavy drugs. Yes, that is so true, Lily. I definitely need to detox. Been looking into glutathione. Yeah, so I love glutathione. I do take it regularly. I do IV glutathione probably once a quarter, or usually like when I get sick, I'll do IV glutathione. I'll do intravenous ozone. IV ozone, I've actually found personally works better for me than glutathione if I get sick. But yeah, glutathione's great. I do have an oral glutathione, or if you're concerned about lost my train of thought. I need to detox. If you're concerned about immune function, then yes, I would do some like IV glutathione. Glutathione, for anybody who doesn't know, it is the mother of all antioxidants. So vitamin C, vitamin E, these are all downstream antioxidants, and so glutathione is further upstream, and it's the precursor. So it helps all these other antioxidants to form, and it cleans up shop. We have all of this like cellular trash. And so our antioxidants come through and help to pick up the cellular trash. So you can just take glutathione regularly too. Also though, glutathione does not raise phase 2 of liver detoxification. So keep that in mind. Thank you, Lily, for posting that. Yes, so that is down in the show notes as well. And yes, please check into it. And Ken says, I have a project to do tomorrow. Yes, you do, Ken. It'll be great to have you in there. So a little shop of horror. Little shop of horrors. Yes, Ken got it. Feed me, Seymour. Ken gets the prize. Let's see. Thoughts on RH. Is it Q or O? RHO liposomal glutathione. Is that oral? I don't know what the RHO is, and I don't know if that's oral. So, but yeah, it's like anything. You have to know the source. You have to know where you're getting it from. I nebulized glutathione for a year because I lived in a moldy house, and I was like, still coughing, and again, I was pregnant when let me see. No, I didn't figure out the house was moldy till years after my pregnancy. And so my daughter, I've been living here for 23, 24 years, and my daughter is 21. And I think I figured it out about 8 years after she was born. So I nebulized glutathione. Glutathione is actually one of the only ways to eliminate mold, they say, from the lungs. It didn't freaking work for me. I was really upset because I still have like a little, 23 years later. So, Durite says, I've quit many drugs quite easily. Sugar, never. I see some fungus on my toes as a real. Yeah, that's 100% correct. So if you have fungus on your toes, you have candida. That's a gut issue for sure. Yep. Mm-hmm. So it's oral. Yeah. So again, or I take oral glutathione. Again, like, I don't know where you're getting it from, but just always make sure that it's from a reputable, RHO is a company. Okay. Yeah. So I can't speak to that company. There's too many companies out there for me to comment on. I take the glutathione from Metagenics. So I know them, I trust them. So if I'm going to do an oral glutathione, that's the one I have in my cabinet. And then again, if I can't, if I got a really bad cold, I can't kick it, which is, not often, I'll go get an IV glutathione and IV ozonated fluids. So that is that. Let me see. I think that was, okay. All right. So a few more details for you guys. So the program starts. So Quitter's Day is this Friday, the 9th. I didn't start the program on the 12th or the 9th. I should have started it on the 9th. But I, in my head, I was thinking that Quitter's Day was the 14th. And so I thought I had more time. And I was like, well, let me do the 19th because you guys still need time to get your kits ordered. So yeah, but I'm like, I think next year, when I do it, I'm going to start it on Quitter's Day. So that's what I'm going to do. But anyway, so it starts on the 19th. So if you find yourself on Quitter's Day wanting to quit, hang in there for one more week, because then we're going to start Detox with the doc on the 19th. Okay. And it's great. It's super fun. You're going to get emails from me. We get to connect in our private Facebook group. I'll have, I'll send videos to you every day. I send recipes. I share my shopping trips. I share the food that I'm making. I talk about meal prep. I don't know. I kind of lose track of all the different things. And I do it new every year. So I've done this so many years that I could just send you guys the replays from all the years past. But I don't, because it for me, it changes a little bit every year. It's the same information. So like what'll happen is you'll get, is it this one? No. I mean, I might take this and turn it into a video for you and send it, but, not this one. Yeah. But like this, I'm going to send you videos on, hey, it's day 1. Here's what you need to be doing. Actually, you're going to get your videos for the next day, the previous day, so that you know what to do on the next day. So anyway, like I say, it's well guided. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of support in the group, and we have a good time. So if you're interested, hit that link. I would love to see you in there. Again, the link is to sign up for me to send you your kit, your kit to order, as well as and then to pay for your coaching. So I've had people ask me, can I do it without the kit? You could. You could follow along. You won't get the same effect. If you want it just for the education, you still have to pay for the coaching. But I really prefer that you do the whole thing. That's really where I want you. I want you to feel the effects of that. And then from there we can go. I usually extend it. I usually go out about 15 days and we talk about like next steps and what you should be doing and transitioning out and what that looks like. And that's kind of where you can be like, okay, can I do this with just the foods on the list? Because you should be eating from those foods on the list. But the foods on the list will help with the detox process, but that powder is so concentrated. It's so powerful, and it's really needed in order to get to that phase 2, speed up that phase 2. So that's my caveat to that. So Ghetto Hippie, how are you? Sounds like a party. We're having a party, man. It's a detox party like nobody potties. So Double Dog Prepper, oh my gosh, how are you, my friend? How are you feeling? You need a detox with us. Yes, I hope you are doing well. Feeling good. No more aches and pains. Got to get rid of those. That's what the detox will do. All right. Okay, you guys. I think that's it. So happy New Year to all of you. Again, just a huge thanks to each and every one of you who've supported me. I've been going pretty hard on this channel since 22, so a little over 3 years. And I'm just super grateful for everybody showing up here. Super grateful for Ken and Lily over at It's All About the Biology, hosting my show on their channel. And, they just see it, we're just all very like-minded, and they see value in the information that I'm putting out there. So huge thanks to Ken, to you, and Lily for having me here. And thank you, sir. That's a different one. Ken came on last week and he showed me a different finger. It was one of these.
That wasn't actually supposed to be live. I thought I was still in the back end. Nobody was supposed to see that.
They all saw it. I was calling him out for his crappy
coffee creamer. Yeah.
Coffee creamer.
That
yes,
Lily
super highly toxic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So
blessings to what you're doing. And yes, it's not just about what we're consuming in the biology in the soil. It's the biology in our body and the parasites, etc. That's why it's so important for you guys to watch Dr. Paula, because she's going to take care of our bodies, and then the rest of the channel is going to take care of the soil and our plants.
Yeah, well said. Well said. I had actually scheduled a guest to come on next week, not realizing that was right in the middle of all the detoxing and everything. So I really, because Detox with the Doc is going to start a week from next Sunday, what I'd like to do, Ken, is invite you on the show next Sunday. And let's talk about the biology and all the things. Like let's have a jam session.
Sure,
I'd
love to.
You're here anyway.
Dirt right through this up. Can I microscope my coffee to see if it has mold?
I don't know if it's I don't know. I wonder if it'd be more of a test, like you would test the liquid, is what I would imagine, right? And I don't know how you would do that. How would you
I don't
test?
know. If you powdered a bean, like we grind ours from bean, and then you could probably put it in solution and take a look to see if there's mold spores. But be honest, that's the question I have no idea on.
Or I wonder if you put the whole bean under the microscope, if you'd see the spore on the bean instead of destroying the spore. Would you make the spore microscopic where you couldn't see it? I don't know.
I'm not sure. Yep.
How about I'll look into that and we'll talk about it next week.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, you guys, let's answer these questions real quick. Devil Dog has a goal to lose 100 pounds, eating healthier, learning and knowing what I'm eating, going to do weekly updates on my channel. Yeah, you know what, Devil Dog, do the stuff on your channel. People love to follow that journey. They want to see what you're doing. They want to, peace out, Ken. We'll chat soon. They want to see what you're doing. They want to cheer you on. I think that's a great way it holds you accountable too. So get on there. If there's anything I can do to help, I'm here for you, my friend. So yes, I would say jump into Detox with the doc. Let's get you started there. And then we can follow your journey through. So I do grind organic beans. Yes, I do too. So, okay. All right, you guys, I think that's about it. It's 7:05, time for me to shut my brain down and get ready for my week. So thanks again for being here. I'll see you Thursday on Chiropractic is Sexy with Dr. Erica. We're talking about Quitter's Day this week. And then we'll see you next week with our one and only Ken from It's All About the Biology. So, all right, have an amazing week, you guys. Love you all. Thanks again and Happy New Year.